Someone who's spent 19 years as a member of a legislative body, I really agree with you that we need to make sure that we tone things down, particularly in light of the Tucson tragedy from a year ago, where my very good friend Gabby Giffords, who is doing really well, by the way, and I know everybody is making tremendous progress, but the discourse in America, the discourse in Congress in particular, to answer your question very specifically, has really changed. And I'll tell you, I hesitate to place blame, but I have noticed it take a very precipitous turn towards edginess and a lack of civility with the growth of the Tea Party movement. After the 2010 elections, when you had the Tea Party elect a whole lot of their supporters to the United States House of Representatives, and you had town hall meetings that they tried to take over, and you saw some of their conduct at those town hall meetings. You know, in the time that I've been in my state legislature and in Congress, I've never seen a time that was more divisive or where discourse was less civil. It's one thing. I've always had people come to my town hall meetings, for example, and say that they don't agree with me on something, and that's fine. And you know, that's what those town hall meetings are about. They're for civil discourse and give and take. And I learn something when I hear from a constituent who doesn't share my view, and hopefully they do also, because we're listening to each other and there's a back and forth. What the Tea Party has done is they have taken it to a different level, and so when they come and disagree with you, that you're not just wrong, you're the enemy. I mean, that's really a place that politics in America shouldn't go. And, you know, when they disagree with you on an issue, you're not just wrong, you're a liar. Rather than just have a difference of opinion, accusations like that get hurled, and it brings the entire discourse down to a level that I think none of us want to see remain there.
Let's bring in Michelle Malkin now. We have a lot to talk to her about. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, Allison.
Okay, so let's talk about something that happened with Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She was at a forum, and she was asked about the lack of civility in Congress. And she gave a response that brought up her good friend Gabby Giffords' shooting. Let's listen to what she said in response to this person at the forum.
To make sure that we tone things down, particularly in light of the Tucson tragedy from a year ago. I have noticed it take a very precipitous turn towards edginess and a lack of civility with the growth of the Tea Party movement.
Okay, that sounds like she's blaming the Tea Party, doesn't it?
She certainly does. And after that soundbite that you included, there's a line that just really made me snort out loud, where she said that I hesitate to place blame, and then a half second of hesitation, but I will anyway. I blame it all on the Tea Party movement.
Right.
One thing that she is completely right about, of course, is that there has been a lot of edginess and lack of civility that has gone along with the rise of the Tea Party movement, but it hasn't come from and it hasn't emanated from the Tea Party activists themselves. It has been unhinged Democrats and femagogues like Debbie Wasserman Schultz who have used every opportunity to smear grassroots conservatives as the worst evil in this country.
But Michelle, just to be clear, Debbie Wasserman Schultz says that she was talking about blaming the Tea Party for the lack of civility. That's what she was responding to. She was not blaming them for the shooting of Gabby Giffords.
Well, I think there's a lot of game playing going on there. And, of course, now she's protesting sanctimoniously that she was taken out of context, something that she is the queen of doing, when, in fact, it's clear that there is a nexus that she was implicitly trying to draw between that awful tragedy that has been over-politicized from the very minute that it was reported, between that and the Tea Party movement.
You know, and what is so delicious about this, and you brought it up, where she's saying, look, I'm out of context, and her friends over at Media Matters say she wasn't blaming the Tea Party. We had her on this program a couple of days ago responding to Mitt Romney's comments, which were taken completely out of context. I mean, Joe Biden even said they were taken out of context, and yet she would not say that Romney was out of context. Watch this. Your web ad where you make it sound like Mitt Romney, where he talks about I like firing people, makes it sound like he's on a yacht lighting cigars with a 50. But when you listen then to the soundbite in its context, you realize that you've probably taken it out of context, haven't you?
Well, is there anybody that likes firing people? I mean, Mitt Romney had the opportunity to be specific and talk about that he would let his insurance company go and switch insurance companies, but he didn't. He broadened it out and generalized and said that he likes firing people who provide services to him.
Queen of the spin.
Femagogue alert, there she goes again. I mean, just taking every opportunity to exploit her agenda. And when it's clear, as you said, as even Joe Biden said, that is not the intent, nor was it the meaning of what Mitt Romney was getting at. But poor Mitt Romney, of course, has been taken out of context, not only by the usual suspects, but among his purported allies as well on that point.
Yeah, sure. Hypocrisy.